Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yeah. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? Look, as long as Microsoft needs to take this video game industry more seriously, Microsoft Corporation needs to take this video game industry more seriously. As long as this world is imperfect or this system is imperfect, there will always be competition. Okay? As long as this world is imperfect or this system is imperfect, there will always be competition. Microsoft needs to take this video game industry seriously. Okay? You have Game Pass, and you're doing pretty well. But to take your games now and put it on the competition's platform, that means you're not taking this video game. That means you're not taking this video game industry seriously. Okay? You already gave out what 10-year contracts. You already gave out 10-year contracts to streaming platforms, right? But as far as like Sony and Nintendo goes, you don't take your games and then give them away like you don't care about it. Because when you give your games away, you're weakening your user base. Okay? For instance, if Blinks the Time Sweeper that was on the original Xbox never went multi-platform, then Ori and the Blind Forest Ori, the definitive edition and the Will of the Wisp should have never went on Nintendo's platform. That game should have stayed on the Xbox and Game Pass. Okay? That game should have never went to Nintendo, because if you look at the number of people, if you look at the amount of people that's playing Ori on a Nintendo platform, that should tell you that that number should have went to Game Pass. Ori should have never went multi-platform. Okay, so when it comes to these platformer games like Spyro, Crash, Ori, and yes, Rare Games, those games need to be on Xbox only. Okay, to keep your user base intact. Okay, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and Crash. Now that you own Activision Blizzard, those games need to be on Xbox only, and the Game Pass. Okay, you don't take those games and just put them on the competition platform. The competition needs to come up with their own games. Okay, yeah. The other thing that was hurting you was this notion. Wait a minute. This notion that you're trying to put Indiana Jones or Starfield or what's that? What's the other one? Any of your exclusive games that you're working on the competition's platform, it weakens you. Okay. It weakens you. So don't do that. Don't bring your games to Nintendo or PlayStation. Nintendo and PlayStation got to come up with their own games. Alan Wake 2 should have never went multi-platform. That game should have been on Xbox because it started there, and the Xbox fans, they were looking forward to part 2 being on Xbox and Game Pass only, not on Nintendo and not on PlayStation. You have to keep those games to keep your base intact. Games that started on Xbox, if there's a sequel to it or whatever, you need to keep that on your platform so you can keep your base intact. Okay? You got to take this you got to take this console competition serious. I mean, trying to help Sony or Nintendo is like you're trying to feed into their. You're trying to feed into them. You know, it's like you're taking your power and giving it to them. That's not good. Okay. The other thing that was weakening you too was like your Xbox console bans. That was hurting you too, because the Xbox enforcement team was banning a lot of people that never hacked their network. Okay, that never even opened the Xbox console. And you guys were banning them. Okay, and most people didn't even know that the Xbox One is the world's first disposable console, because you guys were charging people for on and offline play at the same time. Okay, and the Ethernet cable that runs from your router in your house had to be connected to the Xbox to the Xbox One to make it look like you were offline playing, but you were never offline. You were always online. Okay, you guys didn't remove the block until summer of last year. Okay, and you guys damaged your user base with these ridiculous console bans that you were having. Okay, and if your console bans wasn't so high, Game Pass subscriber base would be bigger. Just saying. So when it comes to this video game market, you got to take this video game industry seriously. You got to respect your platformer games like your Oris, your Crash Bandicoots, and your Spyros. Those games bring value to your console. I mean, sure, you got to have your Gears of Wars and your Halos and all that, but you still need those platformers like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. You need to make those games Xbox only, so you can grow your user base. You got to take this video game industry seriously. It's very competitive, you know, and those console bans that you're having, it's hurting your hurting your user base. Yes, there's some people that hack your network. That is true, but not everybody that plays Xbox. A lot of those console bans were illegal. Okay, because you were banning people for stuff they didn't even do. They might have gotten into an argument with someone online, but that wasn't grounds for banning somebody permanently and then force them in a situation where they have to buy a new console now just to get back online and start all over and then repurchase those digital games that they just bought so they can play again. That's not right. Okay? It's one thing if someone is really hacking your network and using people's account. That's grounds for permanent console bans. But besides that, come on now. It could have been like a 1-day ban or 2-day ban, but a perma ban where they lost all the work that they put into their games and then they got to start all over again. That's not right. So the console bans weaken you, and you know, it's showing. The other thing that weakened you too is, like, for instance, let's say what was that? In Forza Horizon 5. You know, in Forza Horizon 2, when we were online, we were playing with each other. Forza Horizon 3, we were playing with each other. Forza Horizon 4, we were playing with each other. Okay, we were on the map. People were on the maps. We were driving all over the place. We got to see other players across the map doing their thing. But then when we got to Forza Horizon 5, that all changed now. Now you're on the map by yourself. You're racing against these invisible AI cars, ghost cars that are not even real humans, that are not even real people across the world playing, and that damaged damage the brand of Forza, because that's not what Forza is about. About you being on the map by yourself. Did you guys know from December 3rd, 2022 was the last time I played Forza Horizon 5? December the 2nd, I went online to play, and I saw people online playing like you would, like, say, in Forza Horizon 2 and 3. December the 3rd, I went back on there to play again, and I was on the map by myself. And after that, I cut the game off. I never played it again because of that. You ruined the formula that was like That's what Forza Horizon had. Yes, you have a big map and you get to drive all over the place and all that. But while you were driving, you get to see other players worldwide doing their thing. But then you had the option to go complete a challenge or a task, but then get back to seeing people that were playing. Once you took that feature out, Forza Horizon 5 lost its value. It's not even Forza Horizon 2, 3, and 4 are better than Forza Horizon 5. For the simple fact that you guys took that feature out and you were messing with people's mind. You had AI cars, ghost cars driving through invisible cars, and you had cars parked on the side acting like they were humans. That damaged the game. So from that time, I played the game. I never played it again. Okay, so you got to take this gaming industry serious. You know, you got to take your consumers seriously. You can't just be sitting there banning people. You know, you guys had the Xbox One as the first disposable console, and people didn't even know this until I brought this up in 3 videos. Then you had another video on YouTube that was floating around when they were mocking people, talking about when you guys were mocking people, can you get banned on Xbox? And he was like, this have it and that have it. It's called a com ban. And he was like, oh, it's slurs, racial slurs. But it was more than racial slurs. Then the same person who was doing the interview, he asked a question to the other person that was sitting in the chair. He was like, okay, so what if you were black and you were talking to one of your homeboys, and then the person that was sitting in the chair, he was like, I don't know what that's like. Do you know what kind of message you guys were sending with that video? Okay. And then on top of that, you had these illegal console bans where people lost their entire account. And that's what ruined you, because you never respected your user base. So those people that got banned, a lot of them, they were like, you know what? They put Xbox to the side and they went over to PlayStation. You have to respect your user base, and you can't be taking your games and giving it out to the competition when you got your user base that's big to deal with. Okay? The other mistake you guys made too was when you let go of Bungie. Just saying, when you let go of Bungie, like Phil Spencer said, we shouldn't have let Bungie walk through the door, because Bungie, when you let go of Bungie, they went and created Destiny. Okay? Halo started with Bungie. Bungie is responsible for building Halo. There is no way you let them go. No. Okay? Just saying. So yeah. You guys gotta take video games serious. Okay? And don't fall into the trap. And don't fall into this trap where where these PlayStation fans be making fake videos, and then put it up in the pin and saying like, oh, Xbox is dead or Xbox has no game. Stop falling into that, because what they're doing is trying to get you to bring your games to PlayStation. Just saying. So yeah, don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap of these negative comments, man. Phil Spencer, you guys got to respect your user base. Okay? You can't just be taking your games and just giving it out to the competition. What about your user base? Because if you keep doing that, they're gonna be like, why even bother getting an Xbox comp? Why even bother buying an Xbox when I could go get a PlayStation to go play the game? Okay? You have to protect your game. You got to protect your exclusive games. You cannot let the competition get your games that you're making. Okay? You don't take Sea of Thieves and bring it to Nintendo. No. Because Nintendo took Rare for granted. Okay? Nintendo took Rare for granted. When Sea of Thieves came out, I remember I think it was GameSpot or IGN. They were supposed to do a review on it, and they were laughing at the game when the game came out. They thought it was a joke. Look at the time, from the time they laughed at the review. They laughed at Sea of Thieves. Look at Sea of Thieves from then till now. You don't bring Sea of Thieves to Nintendo because Nintendo took Rare for granted. Okay? They took Rare for granted because they make all these weak consoles, and they were holding Rare back. They were holding them back. So when they got to you, so when you guys got them now, Rare have the freedom now, because now you're giving them the hardware so they can make their games how they're supposed to be made without being held back. I'm just saying. So you don't take your games and give it to the competition. You have to respect your user base. You just got to, and take this video game seriously. Take this video game business seriously. Okay? There is no way Ori and the Blind Forest and the Definitive Edition plus the Will of the Wisp, there is no way that game should have went over to Nintendo. Okay? And this notion like, oh, we're getting tired of the console war. The console war is over. As long as the system is imperfect and this world is imperfect, there will always be a console war, and there will always be a console competition. Bottom line, okay? You don't want to find yourself being like how Sega exited the console business. And I'm talking to every one of you at Microsoft. You don't want to find yourself like how Sega exited the console business. You have to take this video game industry serious, and you have to respect your user base. Okay? You have to respect your user base that you have. Okay? And stop putting your games on the competition's platform, because they need to come up with their own games. Okay? They need to know how they gotta know how to stand on their feet and survive this business. Okay? You don't take your exclusive games that your user base love and then give it to the competition. Nah. That's a no-no. Okay? So I hope this video help you guys out when it comes to this video game market. It is very competitive. Okay? You got some good exclusives. You got to keep that on Xbox and the Game Pass. Okay? Yep. And then keep pushing. Okay? But you guys need to kill this noise about Starfield going to PlayStation. Okay? You need to kill this noise about Indiana Jones going to PlayStation. You got to. Okay? You got to kill this noise about you're giving away your games to the competition. No, the competition need to stand on their own. Okay? Because I mean, you're giving them away your games, and they're like, oh, we'll take it. Okay? It's like one company's games is another company's treasure. Just saying. So yeah, take this, Microsoft, please take this video game industry serious. And you have to respect your user base. Your users. Okay? Yes, this video game industry is a business. I get it. But you got to respect the users that are using Xbox platforms. Bottom line, okay? And yes, there are kids that play Xbox. They don't want to play no Ori on no Nintendo console. They don't want to play Crash Bandicoot on a Nintendo or PlayStation console. They don't want to play who was that? Spyro on a Nintendo or PlayStation console. They want to play it on Xbox. Just saying. So you guys got to take this video game industry seriously, man. Okay? This you guys did right by buying Activision Blizzard. You did right by buying ZeniMax Bethesda. But don't take your exclusive games, man, and giving it to Nintendo and Sony. No, they gotta come up with their own games. Okay, so they can survive. Okay, yeah, and you have a user base to take care of, and they are looking forward to Microsoft for their games. You got to take care of your user base. Take care of them. Okay, and make sure their needs and wants are met. Just saying. So yeah, and that's my take on the whole thing, man. But this notion that you're bringing Starfield to PlayStation, huh? Gears of War to PlayStation, Sea of Thieves to PlayStation, or even Hi-Fi Rush, None of those games should go to the competition's platform because you have a user base to take care of. Okay, you have a user base to take care of. Okay, yeah, that's how it goes in the business, man. Okay, you push them to do better. You know, Microsoft. I'm saying Microsoft push Nintendo and Sony to do better. Nintendo push. You know, yeah, man. You guys got to take this video game industry more seriously. Okay, and you got to listen to your user base. Another thing Microsoft need to do is listen to their user base. Your user base is trying to help you out. Listen to your user base. They're trying to help you to grow, to thrive. Listen to them. Okay? Just saying. So, yeah. But that's my take on the whole thing, man. But this video game industry is very competitive. Very, very competitive. The console wars will always exist. Could you imagine right now if Microsoft exited the console wars? The people who bought Xbox will never hear the end of it. They never will hear the end of it. Why? All because Microsoft Corporation never took care of business, never took care of their user base. So Microsoft Corporation got to take this video game industry seriously, and they got to treat video games and their users with respect. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and Star Trek thing. For Dark Side. I'm gone.